second or third year in the league. So that would have been about 94, 95-ish. And even with that, I mean, it's great, but it would go out. It would never work sometimes. And there was always issues with it. So being the first time, I think the fans can definitely make a big difference. No question about that. But you're right. I've said this, and I think people are a little naive if Cam Ward's going to come in there and just light us up. Decent player, talented, but he's never played in this environment. I've talked about it all summer. He will never, ever play in an environment like this as well. So the biggest thing, I think the biggest thing, buddy, is, I think the crowd can play an important part of this game, just like Billy Napier said. No question about it.
Yeah, I mean, just think about that. I hate to use the cliche, the 12th man, because it's taken by somebody else. I predict there will be some offsides early in the season. There'll be some, obviously, false starts, snap counts. Cam Ward hasn't played that much football. He's played football, but he's also played at 3 different schools. He's never been in anything like this. And I think Gator fans are just on fire right now, excited about this team. And we've talked about it. Now it's time to do it. So I thought I had a great idea, Shane. I thought I had a terrific idea about these colors. People are complaining because the University of Florida picked white as the color when that's Miami's color. And people saying, screw that, wear blue, whatever. I thought, well, here's what we'll do. We'll just bring some white noise. I thought that'd be a good thing. And bring white noise, except that doesn't work because the white noise is supposed to calm you down. So anyway, bring some noise to the swamp, and boy, it's going to be rocking.
Yeah, I don't care what color people wear. Let's get ready to go. Make it just a tough environment for the Miami Hurricanes. Buddy, before we continue talking about this game, I saw this yesterday. I thought it was quite interesting. Do you know that UCF has 5 former quarterbacks from their program on starting college football teams this year?
I did not know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, they got five quarterbacks, and then Baylor has 4 former quarterbacks on their roster that are starters around the country. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
A couple of Gator quarterbacks in the NFL too, by the way. Former Gator quarterbacks playing and on the game over the weekend. And you pointed out they both played 9 years. Who would have thought it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're talented kids for sure. Ryan says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, after watching how FSU struggled, it makes me feel better about having a returning QB in the same system against a Miami team with a new QB and a new system.
Yeah.
That means something on the road in week 1. I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, me too.
I think a lot of these teams that have so much turnover, it's going to take a while for them to gel together. You just can't throw it together and get ready to roll. So, I've liked the Gators' chances in this game all year, all off season. I will be shocked if we don't win it.
Well, you call the FSU situation. You kept saying they aren't that good, and by the way, this don't diminish Georgia Tech. They did a heck of a job. They really did to get ready for that game, and their game plan was magnificent. They just kept the ball away from FSU with that running game. But I don't know, Shane.
Yeah,
you'll get into this later. But how do you see the game plan playing out for Billy?
Well, I think a lot of it depends on field position, how the game is being played, what the score is. Army Sniper here, he's been harping on this all season. I think Miami's O-line gets the Gators D-line, but the secondary should look better. The so-called experts around the country has given a lot of love to the trenches of the Miami Hurricanes. And like I said, I don't know enough about them, but the experts said that Florida State had the number 1 defensive line in America, and Georgia Tech manhandled them. So just because a kid is a 4 or 5 star or he did this or did that, that doesn't mean it's going to translate into a win or him dominating in this game. It's a road game. It's hard to play on the road for whatever reason. I don't know if they're going to dominate us in the trenches. Time will tell. I think too many people want to look at what happened last year and think that's going to happen this year. And everybody's a different team. As if you can look at Florida State, you can look at Georgia Tech. Now, those are one game. Florida State can still go on and win the ACC and go play in the 12-team playoff. So time will tell. But I think this Florida team is a lot better than the so-called experts think out there.
If you heard Billy talk yesterday, and I get it, I know people talk glowingly about their teams early on, whatever, but the substance of what you put out there and what you talked about, what we're hearing out of practice, some of these new players and stuff, how well they're playing, this secondary, even their linebackers. We don't know about the D line because we don't get to see that, but it sounds like it's better. The edge rushers are better, and it doesn't take but 3 or 4 plays to get your team off the field. Imagine, we've said this 1,000 times, if this team would have got off the field a couple of times a game last year. And you know, those close games, you got to have that. I think he would like to run the football naturally, and I think he'll try to run the football, even without his number one running back, but he's got plenty of muscle back there at running back position. I can't wait to see some of those guys in there. And that is when you test for the offensive line. Let's see if that right side's going to be able to hold up. If they can run the football, they can win this game handily because taking it out of the hands of the other team, what's going to be in the offense is going to be have to listen to that crowd noise. Cam Ward's new at it. It's going to be hard, and there's going to be some pressure brought to the quarterback for a change, Shane, which you've been complaining about. We're going to see some pressure on the quarterback, the creeper defense.
Well, we have to. We have to. Front seven on defense is the key to winning this football game for sure. Barone 71 on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, what I know about Miami, low-class fans, delusions of grandeur, QB killer of a head coach, and all-season champs every year. All right. So let's get to
Shane, whatever happened to that guy, John Ruiz? Remember him?
I couldn't. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, he was talking big smack, throwing money around, flashing money, talking trash. That's a typical Miami fan right there. All hat and no cattle.
Greg's question, why do you think Brissett and Driscoll didn't excel here at Florida? Well, I don't think the teams were very good. We had that one year, I think, under Driscoll. Then Muschamp took them to the Sugar Bowl. Jacoby transferred to NC State because they came in the same year and he wanted to play. I wouldn't say they didn't excel. I thought they were pretty good players. I think, you know, if you're not on winning teams, people look at you and say you didn't excel. But they were both talented. I actually worked with them a little bit when they were here in the off season, and they both were very talented and obviously accurate, know how to run an offense. And they've lasted a long time in the NFL.
Shane, were you a Charlie Weiss guy?
That's so long ago. I mean, I was not against Charlie Weiss. I mean, Charlie Weiss knew ball. I don't know why it didn't work out.
I never liked Charlie Weiss. I thought it was a bad move when they did it. I was hooted down. But he did find Jacoby as a late scholarship commit, if you remember. Driscoll was so big that a staff member told me
Driscoll was the number one quarterback in America, I think.
Well, I'm going to say to you what one of the coaches told me during Urban's reign there. It wasn't Urban. He said, I don't care if we don't get another player. If we get Driscoll, we're going to be great shape. That's how much he was valued. But Shane came out and had a horrible opening game, and he just never seemed to recover.
Yeah, I can't remember that far back, quite honestly. I'd have to go.
Might have been the Miami game.
Watch it.
I mean, he played so badly, I can't. Somebody will remember. Talented guy, but he's been around 9 years, but he never lived up to his potential.
Chris from Mayak on the Titan MR text line says, Andy Staples, of all people, thinks Cam Ward and the Canes will get the job done in games on Saturday. You should have him on to talk about that before the game. I've had Andy on. He's busy. It's not that – Buddy can tell you it's hard to get people on shows.
Not only that, but Andy knows a little ball. He can't compare to Shane Matthews about knowing ball. Okay, he sent He spent a couple of cups of coffee with the team as a tight end. When you ask Steve Spurrier about him, he said, I don't remember him. Now, not knocking Andy's work. He's very good. He's a good writer. He's done really well. But, you put people up on the shelf. Who do you want to decide for you what information is important? Because a lot of what you get comes from bots. Who are these evaluators who make these decisions? I'm not saying Cam Moore's not a good football player. I'm sure he is. I don't know. But I just think the people making the evaluations, somebody grabs it, puts it on social media, and that's the gospel truth. I'll take Shane Matthews, give him some film, let him tell you what he sees, and then you understand. It's the wisdom, it's experience, whatever about that. So these some of these so-called judgments or snap judgments made over a couple of things they read somewhere and a bot gave to them, and they called it the gospel. So be careful about what you say. Maybe they're right. I'd say they got the wrong line. I've said that 4 or 5 times in my career at Florida. 3 of them have been right. I think this might be the wrong line. This is the very best for Miami, an even game, which I don't think it is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I think we're the better team. Josh from Mississippi on the Titan MR text line says, QB, I'd love to see Napier take advantage of KD's high school play and put him as an option quarterback. Thoughts on that? That ain't going to happen. You don't, you can't waste plays doing those type of things, in my opinion, especially in this type of game. Put your senior quarterback out there and let's ride with him.
Agree, and I want to say
another text.
There's no such thing as a secret weapon like that. And if you listen carefully to Billy's message, and it's a cliche, he knows what he wants to do. It's execute, execute, execute. He's got the ball players. He's got enough players. Can they execute, which they did not do last year? If they do, they'll win the game.
Yep. Text on Titan MR text line. Good morning, QB. Which position group do you expect to look noticeably better this Saturday? I'm hoping it's the front 7 on defense. That's all I care about. I know I sound like a broken record, but I don't give 2 craps about anything else for the rest of the year. For us to have a fun, exciting season as Gator fans, it comes down to the front 7 on defense. Barone 71 says, agree, these 2 programs are practically equal in slightly different ways. Only difference is Florida plays a real schedule. Miami plays a Pop Warner schedule. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's talk about Electronics World. One of our new sponsors will be Electronics World, your local integration and design specialist for smart home automation and entertainment. That's Electronics World. We appreciate them joining the program. We got Buddy Martin here on the Titan MR Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. We'll have Lamar Thomas, former Miami Hurricane, getting his thoughts on this game Saturday in the Swamp. Buddy?
Yeah.
You there?
I'm here.
I lost you.
I'm here. I've been thinking a lot about this game, a lot about the strategy of this game. And I think noise, as I said, my idea of white noise, the highest recorded, I don't know what game it was. ESPN says the most ever decibels was 133.6. We used to have in the old days those gauges that measured that. I'm going to say this will be the loudest crowd since Billy's been there. If it was a night game, it'd be even louder because it have to be liquored up. But the bottom line is, I think we'll be able to see the impact of the Swamp.
You can get liquored up early in the morning.
Yes, you can. Back in the day, I'm sure. But the fact is that the Gator fans are so full of angst and so excited and so ready for this to happen. Shane, 3 straight losing seasons. That's not Florida football. We all know that. We all know this team is better than its record. We can't prove it. We can't show it. But I love what Billy said. He said, we talk about it as a football team and want to create a nightmare for the opponent. Now, that's sending a message, a nightmare for the opponent. You talk about getting backed up in that end zone, Cam Ward back on his own 15 with that noise in a hot afternoon, it's going to impact his play. And it's going to inspire the defense, which I think is reason you're going to see some sacks. We're going to see some big plays on defense. That's what I want to see. I want to see stops. I want to see some big play. I want to see a couple of interceptions, playmakers making plays on defense. I'm not going to settle just for stops. I want plays by the defense.
Yeah, I got a text on the Titan More text line from Charlie. He says, what makes you think and why are you so confident that you think Cam Ward struggles? Well, history's on the Gator side. Let me throw these names at you, and I'm sure I'm going to leave somebody out, and I would love for people to tell me who rolled into the swamp and had a tremendous game, especially in their first game playing there. Think about Joe Burrow, his first time in the swamp, not so good. Think about Joe Milton last year, not so good. Think about maybe Bo Nix when he came in as a freshman. First time there, not very good. You can go on and on and on. And I mean, there's probably somebody that came in there and lit us up, but
These are guys we haven't heard of usually. It's Peyton Manning, not so much. But the guys come along and say, who is that guy? You don't even know his name.
Well, I don't know if Peyton. I have to go back and see how Peyton played in Gainesville. I know he didn't win, but I don't know how he played. Charlie Ward had some success in there, but I don't know how many times Charlie played there. Charlie was a freak, though. Cam Ward ain't Charlie Ward, okay? So, again, we have to stop the run and the front four. We have to not sack, just pressure the quarterback. We win the game. Lauren says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Metal Law, that was Joe Milton's second time, and it didn't go so well. Yeah. So I like our chances a lot. Buck says Jay Cutler. Maybe Jay Cutler. I know he won there, I think, or took him into overtime. But Jay Cutler, Cam Ward ain't Jay Cutler, folks. Jay Cutler was a hell of a quarterback.
He played well in the swamp. I remember that.
Spencer Rattler's another one who I think is a really good college quarterback that was awful in the swamp. So Buck says we have to stop Martinez before we need to worry about. I'm not even worried about Cam Ward. The key to this game is stuffing the run and making them throw the football. Concrete builds firm foundations for generations. You stand on it. We stand by it. What you got, buddy?
Sorry, I can't see you, so I don't know if you're talking until you get into it. I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, I just said that, Cam Ward's not Patrick Mahomes, okay? He may be a good player, but Shane, what's the toughest place you played in college? It used to be
it would be either
LSU.
It would be Tennessee or LSU, or by far. They're not even close to anybody else.
And what's that like to get there in front of 100,000 screaming fans in Knoxville, on a Saturday night when things are going on? And you were always cool and calm under pressure. But listen, like Coach Spurrier said, one of the key elements in Urban Meyer to being a really good quarterback is courage to stand in there when 300-pound guys are flying at you. It's not just they're sitting back and throwing the football. I could stand back and throw the football a little bit, but I couldn't do it with the 300-pound guy coming down on me. And in the elements, the noise, the heat, the reputation of the swamp, I'm sure really good blitz package is coming from the defense too. So he's going to have some looks he hasn't seen before. He may be a great player. I expect the offense to play well and not turn the ball over. I expect to make some big plays on defense. I expect the crowd to step up and have a hand in it, and I expect Florida to win the game.
I agree. I think we need to win it. No doubt about it. This is an interesting question here. This is from Wes on Facebook Live, brought to you by Metal Law. Shane, why don't schools, when they have Mississippi State at home, pass out cowbells to give them some of their own medicine? Not legal. Not legal. Mississippi State has a clause with the SEC, a written agreement or handshake or what have you, that they can ring the cowbells at home.
Yeah.
But they're not supposed to. Now, here's the thing. They could only ring it, I think, once the ball was snapped. I can't remember what the rule is, but anyway.
Some kind of special rule for Mississippi State, and I'm glad they have it. I don't think
Yeah, I think it's great.
You can only start sanitizing every crowd, It'd be like saying Gator fans can't yell during a certain time. No, I you're right. And the cowbell is a wonderful thing. And Moai cowbell means different things, different places. Shane, I have a quick question for you. I know you don't necessarily care about this. You don't think their head coach has any responsibility whatsoever to talk to the media, et cetera. And I get what you're talking about. Have you been reading about Dabo Swinney's uh, refusal to take calls on his own show? And he makes $11 million a year, and he won't take any live calls, live questions on
Well,
his show.
it stems from the call from
I
the
get it.
fan last year or 2 years ago. Now he has every right to not take calls on his show, but he takes questions from media folks at his interviews.
Well, not Prime. Coach Prime doesn't take it from certain players, and he's that's a big thing out in Denver right now. Is that he's got one guy from the Denver Post he doesn't like, and now the head ball coach has done this too. I think how far can you push it? I mean, Deion Sanders is a pretty good football coach, a great recruiter, but he
Mm,
ain't Nick Saban, you know, and he ain't Steve.
no, he he's going to be lucky to win 4 games this year.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure.
Um, okay. Tony says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law, saying, do you remember Jeff Garcia playing for San Jose State in '91? He wasn't the starter, but played mop-up dude. I do remember that.
I do too.
Jeff Garcia for the San Jose State Spartans. Had a long, long career in Canada and in the National Football League. Good player.
It was a good player.
Really good player. All right, there was one question here, if I can find it here on the Titan Lamar text line for you, buddy.
And while you're looking, Shane, on that, I wanted to ask you if you saw any of Game Day, what you thought of Nick Saban's debut. And I'll tell you what I missed about that program. I don't watch it that much. I usually watch SEC Nation. By the way, which will have a couple of alums coming home back out to the Plaza of Americas on Saturday. Laura Rutledge, I have an interview with her coming up on Friday on my show. She, of course, is an intern for us at Gator Country and blossomed into this. What's this little recruiting show she did for us on Cox and then into the Starlight, into big time, and now is a very successful and very humble person. You'll see her Friday on my show. And then, of course, Tim Tebow. Someone told me, oh, he's not coming back. Tim Tebow's coming back. The rumor started he wasn't coming back. So there's 2 big alumni coming back to the swamp that must be a great feeling to come in there now as the big dog, and do those shows and knowing their track records coming in. Laura was going to be a ballerina. She took a wrong turn. But I love Laura Rutledge. I think she's terrific and proud of her. And of course, Tebow, what can you say about Tebow?
I do not watch Game Day, buddy. I don't know. I don't watch any of those pregame shows. I'm usually busy doing stuff. It depends on if it's a night game, I go play golf and then go straight to campus. But I can't play golf this Saturday because it's an early game. I got to be on campus. But no, I don't watch those shows at all.
You don't watch
here's
Pat
an interesting question.
Ever watch Pat?
Say that again?
You don't ever watch Pat McAfee?
I don't watch it. I mean, I've seen clips of it, but no, I don't know. I kind of lost interest in Game Day probably 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know why. I
don't watch it. I watch the SEC show usually, but the bottom line is that this particular. Hold on one second. Sorry, no one wants to call me today. So the fact is that that Nick Saban's did a really good job. I will say that
he's very good. Let's go. Hang on, buddy. Let's go to back to the Titan MR hotline. We're going to have Trisha Garzon, who is really involved with the Gainesville Quarterback Club, and she wants to give some information on their speaker tonight. Trisha, are you there? Trisha, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Oh, she's muted. Okay.
All right, you got me?
There's Trisha. How you doing? Let everybody know what's going on with the Gainesville Quarterback Club.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So tonight we kick off, I think it's our 51st year. So that's saying something. We meet every Tuesday during the season at Best Western Gateway Graham here in Gainesville. And tonight we've got all-time leading running back Ernest Graham, which is in the Spurrier era there. So we're excited to have Ernest tonight. We have, sorry, I just got back I'm on a photo shoot for the JAG agency right now, so I've been running around. We've got Jimbo Fisher coming this season, Nat Moore, Patrick Young, Dan Mullen, Dari Noka. So we got a really nice lineup coming. So we're excited about to hear. If you want more information, just go to quarterbackclub.org. That's quarterbackclub.org, or search Gainesville Quarterback Club. And we'd love to have you guys come out. We've got new members all the time joining, and it's a great crowd. We have social hour starting at 5:30 and then dinner at 6. And that's every Tuesday before home game.
Well, awesome. Well, we'll get you on maybe next week where you can talk a little bit more about it. But it
yes,
should be interesting.
Sorry, had the work commitment.
Yeah, when Jimbo Fisher rolls into town, that'll be an interesting night for sure. Tricia, appreciate it. Have fun at the game Saturday, and y'all have a good time tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shane, as always. Appreciate you.
All right, that's Tricia Garzon from the Gainesville Quarterback Club, and
Shane,
also
can I say one thing, Shane?
Agency.
Can I say one thing?
What you got, buddy?
Well, she was going to be on my show last night, but she.
Hey, buddy. Hey. Yes, I'm sorry. I missed your show.
It's all right, Tricia. I wanted to say what a great organization you got. I love coming out there, and it should be interesting. And good luck to you this year. So we'll get you on soon.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll circle back with you. Yep.
Okay. And Shane, if I might also
you guys
put a plug in for the Ocala Quarterback Club and Mike McGinnis. They start their 69th year next year. You're going to speak to them, I think, this year. And Mike McGinnis will be there. So appreciate these quarterback clubs. They do a good job.
Yes, they do. They have a good time. There's no question about that. All right, buddy.
All right, go Gators.
One last thing. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, buddy. Give me your prediction since we won't talk to you till next Tuesday. What happened Saturday night?
I haven't made one, but now I'm going to pull something out of the air, okay? Just a number that sticks in my mind. Florida 27, Miami 20.
We'll take it right now. Sounds like a good night in the swamp. Buddy, we'll see you in the press box Saturday.
Right,
have a good day, my friend.
Thank you, Shane. You too.
That's Buddy Martin. Join us on the Titan MR hotline courtesy of Comfort Temp. Take a quick time out. We'll come back. We'll be joined by a former Buchholz Bobcat and Miami Hurricane, Lamar Thomas. Get his thoughts on how he thinks the Canes are going to be this year. You're watching and listening to Pato and Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back.
We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, Titan MRI, Meldon Law, Peachland Dental, QC Kinetics, Campus USA Credit Union, Dave & Buster's. Gridiron sponsors, Comfort Temp, UF Bookstores, Quality Plumbing, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, F45. Our touchdown sponsors, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Aikido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, MG&A Wealth, Nest and Wild. If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith understands your joint pain.
It does not surprise me that there are a ton of people out there that's in pain.
That's why Emmitt is such a proponent of QC Kinetics, offering real lasting joint pain relief with non-surgical, all-natural biologic treatments.
Whether it's a joint pain, ankle pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, hip pain, any kind of pain, the body eventually will break down when it's under that much stress.
That stress can cloud your judgment to the point that you'll just say yes to the scalpel or yes to another prescription of pain pills. But maybe it's time for a second opinion from QC Kinetics.
The reason why I would recommend this is because the natural biologics that QC Kinetics is providing you gives your body a chance to naturally heal itself.
Restorative, regenerative solutions are here. Get lasting relief and live your life.
Call QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Ruse Oga State Farm Office is a team of dedicated insurance professionals ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. Visit ogreinsurance.com. Give them a call, 352-240-1779. We're going to go back to the Titan MR Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Tim. We're joined by former Buchholz Bobcat, Miami Hurricane, Lamar Thomas. Coach Thomas, good morning. How you doing, my man?
Great morning to you, three-timer.
Yeah. Lamar, I wanted to get you on. Obviously, you'll be in Gainesville. We'll talk about this little Miami Hurricane party y'all are having downtown.
Right.
But just your thoughts. I mean, it seems like, both our programs in the 90s, it was Florida State, Miami. Usually somebody was going to play for the national title. Been rough times lately. You live down in South Florida. You're around the program. Is this team, they're getting a lot of love nationally. I can't figure it out why, coming off a 7-6 year. Your thoughts on Miami going into this year?
Well, Shane, I mean, for the last 10, 15 years, we've been off-season national champions for a long time. And there's always excitement coming out of the University of Miami program preseason, and then the season starts. But this year, Mario contends that this will be different. They put the work in. They've obviously put the money in. And, he just feels like he has everything the way he wants it right now. He has a coaching staff in place that he feels comfortable with. He's going through changes there. And again, they got a bunch of different players that supposedly have bought into what he wants. And that's the old school style of Miami play to dominate. So we will see.
Yeah, I want to say Mario was a teammate of yours at Miami.
Yes.
Isn't that correct?
Yes, he will. He's a classmate. We came in together.
Okay. Yeah. And obviously you guys, a lot of you former players come back. I know y'all do a big camp in the summertime there. Everybody says Billy Napier's on the hot seat. Is Mario on the hot seat down there?
I don't think so. When you have that type of money invested in you for a long period of time, and remember now, this is a private institution where the money doesn't fall from Gatorade trees and stuff like that. So we can't just make changes knowing that we can't really continue to pay coaches like this. So I think that Mario the seat is not hot. It's not even lukewarm. But if by some reason this year, like you said earlier, with all the expectations supposedly coming out of this program, they don't do as they should, as he thinks, and as obviously the national media thinks, he could be lukewarm for possible change. But I don't really see that because, again, we're just not a program where we can just buy out people and feel comfortable about it.
Yeah. Miami made, obviously, like everyone else, a lot of acquisitions through the portal. Your running back is a really good player coming over from Oregon State, but obviously Cam Ward, really talented, getting a lot of love. Now, Lamar, you didn't play in the swamp, but you grew up going to games in the swamp, and we've seen how first-time quarterbacks play in the swamp. We know he's played a little bit in the Pac-12, but this is an environment he never walked into and will never play anywhere like this ever again in his life. You think he's going to be ready?
Well, first, let me address something what you said. I did play in the swamp when it had turf, but it wasn't against the University of Florida. Remember, I played my high school games there too, and
that's right.
I also coached there against the University of Florida, and that's another thing in itself. At 3:30 to be playing in that place, it is hot, extremely hot. Matter of fact, I was there coaching against the University of Florida at the University of Kentucky, and we got blown out. And I had 20 tickets that I had given out to friends and family. And at the end of the game, there was only one person left. Yeah, they were, because it was so hot. They said there was people passing out and stuff like that. The only person left was Kevin Peoples, my friend from high school who went to Georgia State. But it is a different environment. This is going to be an environment unlike something he's never seen, because as we well know, those Gator fans, they got Gator getters everywhere in that little section. They got they do the the thing was they sing the song was it is that the beginning of the fourth quarter?
Tom Petty.
They do, yeah.
Well,
They
we
do
are the boys, and they also
We Are the
do
Boys.
Tom Petty
Two,
now.
yeah, and you got Two Bit in the beginning. Are you doing it this year? Are you gonna be Mr. Two Bit this year for it?
No. They asked me a couple years ago. Maybe it was last year for Florida. I declined. It ain't my kind of thing.
That's right, old 3-time. Oh, by the way, I call him 3-time. It's a little joke that we have. We coached together at the XFL, and he's 2-time SEC player. Yeah, I just call him 3 times, saying he deserved to be 3 times. So that's our little joke.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, this is a whole different environment. I just hope he's ready, because this is. It doesn't matter what type of team Florida has. You're still going into that environment. And to be an opening game like this, you would have loved to have had a cupcake, but this is the way the schedule falls. And if you can pull this off, it definitely sets you up for the rest of the season.
Robert on the Titan MR text line down in Naples says, Lamar, I'm a lifetime Canes and Gator. Went to both schools. Do you think a lot of former players like yourself will be attending this game?
Yes, I've heard that a lot of guys are coming in town, and that's because they're all calling they want to go to the party that I will be hosting at Capone on Friday night. So I know a lot of guys are coming in town. I even talked to some of Gator guys that are coming to the party, and so this is going to be a party. I mean, when is it never not a party in Gainesville? So it'll be a great atmosphere for college football. You couldn't ask for a better opening game. Two teams with a lot of expectations. Obviously, your coach, there's a lot riding on this with that tough schedule. This will be a national spotlight game.
Yeah, it is. No question about it. Lamar, we got a question here on the Titan MR text line from Jimmy. He wants to know, Lamar, with all the great athletes that you played with in Miami back in the day, in y'all's heyday, who was the best player you played with? That's a pretty good question.
Oh, that is a great question. Athletically, probably Horace Copeland. Athletically, he's just a freak. Could run, jump. He couldn't catch back then, but he learned how to catch, and he's just a great athlete. Now, probably player-wise, as far as accolades, probably Gino Torretta. And that was in college, just because of his leadership, and he was our quarterback, and he won all the trophies and things like that. So, but it was a lot of guys, a lot of good players. Just like you, Shane, you got a lot of guys. It's kind of hard to pick one. But it was just a lot of good players. That was a great question. Actually. Never thought of that.
Yeah, Bob on the Titan MR text line wants to know, and I think you've been on my program before and you told us this story, but tell us again real quick. He wants to know, why, being from Gainesville, why did you choose to go to Miami over the Gators?
Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith, and no proven quarterback. I think it was, I don't even know the guy's name, maybe Perry or something like that. And the offense, Galen Hall, not to my liking. Let's see. Oh, and he fired Mike Heimerdinger. So, yeah, those are all contributing factors. And the fact that Norm Sloan only wanted me to play basketball and basketball only. So, yeah, Florida's out the window.
Gotcha. Lamar, I want to get your thoughts. Obviously, the new age of college athletics, players getting paid a lot of money. You play down in Miami where, they got South Beach and all that kind of stuff. But you also coached college ball for a long time, and you had to recruit your tail off. Would you want to be a college football coach in today's world?
Those are things that I've pondered for a while. I mean, I even went down and talked to Mario, and we had discussions about it. It's a different ball game. And, I was thinking this morning, just the fact that to be able to recruit a guy like Lamar Jackson and get off of it without paying him a dime and get him to come to the University of Louisville, that couldn't happen in today's game, because it is a different ball game. I don't even know how these guys do it, especially in recruiting wise, because even if you're recruiting a guy based on his money, the money he wants or his NIL value, and that's entirely different than what I was used to. So today's game has changed a lot, and also, as fans, and I am a fan, you don't even really know your roster like you used to. You remember back in the day when we could watch a guy develop from a redshirt freshman or a freshman all the way to his senior year. That ain't happening anymore because these guys are wishing, washing, and going from school to school. I mean, look at Florida State's overweight quarterback. He was at three different schools. I threw that in there. I had to get that in there. He was at three different schools, and I mean, how do you expect team continuity? I mean, and also with the money these guys are making, there's no. You remember back in the day, Shane, we all had to hang together because we all were broke. We all didn't have that type of money, but now they don't have to live with each other. They don't even have to see each other. They just get in their Teslas and they ride away.
Yeah, there's no question. A bunch of people here are saying or trying to figure out who the quarterbacks were at Florida when you were coming out. Lamar's my age, folks. So 88 was our true freshman year. So Kerwin was gone.
He was gone.
When Lamar was being recruited. Yeah, Kerwin was gone.
I think it was
like Andy's
Herbert
question
Perry or something like that. Herbert Perry. Who was there when you got there? Yeah. Nobody good.
Yeah. Andy's question for you on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law. Lamar, how difficult was it to transition from the great national championship teams in Miami to the sub-500 Tampa Bay Bucks teams you played on?
Oh, man. As I put on my social media tag sometime, I was a yuccaneer. We sucked. It was extremely hard. It was almost to the point, and I do remember I cried in preseason games, and I cried during the regular season. I just couldn't believe how bad of a organization and team I was playing for, especially coming from Miami, where we had great teams, but we didn't have anything. And then to go to Tampa, where you're thinking it's a pro organization, and you don't even have a great team, and you still don't have anything. I mean, it was the worst facilities in the league at that time. It was just worst organization at that time. Also, it was a bad deal, but they ended up getting it together. But it was back then. It really hurt me to put on those creamsicle. You couldn't even look. You didn't even feel good. And a guy on the helmet winking at you with a feather in his mouth. How are you going to intimidate somebody?
That's pretty damn funny. No question about it. I got one question for you because you coached majority of your college career under Bobby Petrino.
Mm-hmm.
He's now back at Arkansas as the OC. What's your relationship with Bobby Petrino, and how good of a coach do you think he is?
Well, I think Bobby Petrino is a great offensive mind. He is. He's very thorough, and he has his own system, and obviously getting to Coach Lamar gave him a little bit more ammo as far as the pistol offense and things like that. I just think he's one of the greatest football minds. I talked to him at length a lot the last couple of years, and he's excited about the opportunity he has at Arkansas to go back and to try to right the wrong there. He was excited about it. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works out there. I was really surprised to see their quarterback transfer to UCF, the KJ, I don't even know his last name, but the bigger kid.
Jefferson.
KJ Jeff. I was really surprised to see him leave. It's kind of like when we got there at Louisville and Teddy Bridgewater left. Sometimes I think his everything that comes along with him kind of precedes him, and so kids get a little worried because he does coach hard. He coaches hard, players, coaches, fans. He coaches everybody hard. So maybe the guy wanted to go somewhere where it might have been a little easier, but he's a great offensive mind, and that's where I'm going to leave it.
Calvin in Savannah, Georgia says, Lamar, would you have liked to play in Steve Spurrier's fun and gun offense?
Yes, I would have loved to have played in that. That would have made my decision a lot harder, let me tell you. But instead, you got Trey Everett. So Who was
That's
from
funny.
Gainesville also. Who was from Gainesville. So, yeah, I would have loved to play, and that was fun to watch. It was just a different time, different era. I think it worked out for everybody, me going to Miami. But, man, that would have been great to play in that offense. And, hell, maybe he would even know my name because, I told you before, he still doesn't know my name. He calls me Lamont. So I don't
Lamont.
know what the hell
well,
that
you look
yeah.
like a Lamont.
Hey, Lamont. Yeah, Lamont. That's right. Gainesville Buell. You're a good player. Yeah. Okay, coach. Thank you.
Yeah, so you would have. Yeah, that's right, because we came in the same year. So he didn't come in until my third year in college. So
exactly.
Tony says on Facebook Live, Trey made easy catches look hard and the hard catches look easy. Very true. Very true.
We're definitely a different type of receiver though. Trey was a lot faster. So
yeah, Conyer Ron on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, "What's Lamar's game prediction for this Saturday?"
For somebody, pain. No, I don't. I'm really hoping for a Miami win. I'm just trying. I mean, obviously, I love my school, and I believe in my classmate, but I'm just trying not to drink the Kool-Aid, but I got to go with the University of Miami on this one, just because, they're supposedly going down there, sit down with him. They supposedly have all the things in place. So I'm going to go with my school over your school, and we'll just see what happens. I mean, if I had to put a number on it, I would say maybe 33-21. How about that?
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully that score is flipped. Well, Lamar, before we let you go, my man, let everybody know we probably do have some Hurricane fans, and
yes.
Gator fans can come as well, because as you said, a lot of former Gator football players will be at this party. Let them know again where it is Friday night and how they get tickets or what have you. Yes,
it's at Capone's. I haven't even been to the venue yet, but I think it's downtown, and you can go on caneswear.com to get the tickets, or you can just get them at the door. But I saw the ticket price, and people keep asking me, they go, "Why is it $39?" So I just made up my own answer for it. I said, because I wore the number 36 and I played for the national championship 3 times. How about that?
Yeah, I was getting ready to say they should have made it $36 to get in.
I don't know. You know how sometimes people just do their own thing. But I'm excited about a chance to get to see all the people from Gainesville and some of my teammates and some of my Gator friends too.
Is George Teague coming to the party?
No. Well, he follows that. He follows Alabama very closely, so I would doubt he would be there. But if he did come, I definitely would let him in free. Because obviously he and I are attached to the hip, just like you're attached to that other guy that got that game-winning interception. So we would.
You're damn right. me and Antonio Langham.
Yes, we will always be associated with each other. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Lamar, good stuff as always, my friend. Hopefully we'll see you Saturday. Take care, bud. Tell your family I say hello.
I will. Come on by on Friday night, man. Let's party it up, brother. Love you.
All right. That's Lamar Thomas joining us on the Titan No More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Tip. Hope you enjoyed today's program. Again, thanks to Lamar and to Buddy. Tomorrow we'll have JC. We'll do some picks. We'll also have Lamar's quarterback, Gino Toretto, on the program. Get his thoughts on the Hurricanes and the Gators. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.